Hello, church. Today, Tuesday, I was thinking a lot about what God is calling us to do and who's God is calling us to be during these strange times. And then, I was reminded of words that my father spoke to me. Many of you know he and my mother passed away this fall, and I saw in his belongings after they were gone a charge that he gave me when I was first installed as a pastor. That would have been in the 1980s. And I would share this with you because I believe this can be our charge still today. I charge you to lead this church in its prayer life, that this church may always be seeking God's leadership for the world, for this church, and for their individual lives. And the second statement he said was, I charge you to always speak to those things that break the heart of God. Things like injustice, hate, alienation, and exclusivity. He said more, but those two things I lift up because I think they are incredibly relevant right now, because we're in the midst of this pandemic, and I would suggest that there are two pandemics. We know the COVID-19 pandemic, and yet when we all came together as a people and united and in our behavior and our response to that, we were able to stem the tide and make some dramatic changes in just 3 or 4 months. Now, questions still remain ahead, but we made changes that made a difference. The other pandemic is a pandemic of racism. And we have not altered our behavior to make the changes necessary so that there is justice for all. In other words, we still need to pray and to speak to those things that break the heart of God. So right now I'm saying these words from our church prayer room, and I'm going to make a challenge, an invitation, but more than that, a kind of calling to you to join me in a daily prayer for this pandemic of racism. I would invite you to begin today for this season of prayer and to set your alarm daily for 4 p.m. so that when that alarm goes off, you and I and all who are hearing this message can have a company of intercessors that pray together, knocking on heaven's door, that change would happen, that we would change, and therefore through us the change God desires would happen. There's a verse in Scripture that I commend to you and invite you to use this daily to begin your prayer. It is 2 Chronicles 7:14. You might want to write that down. 2 Chronicles 7:14. And it reads this way. If my people who belong to me will humbly pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then, says God, then I will hear from heaven, forgive their sin, and heal their land. 2 Chronicles 7:14. So beginning today, let's join together and pray that God would mold and shape our hearts and the hearts of others so that together we can make a difference in dismantling racism and helping to be partners with God and creating more of the kingdom of heaven here on earth. Have a blessed day.